Hello, this is Raziel Cohen with ndftraining.com, and today we're continuing the build of the Daniel Defense Upper. Did you know that we offer online training courses? Everything from basic fundamentals to use of a firearm. Whether you're new to shooting or have background and experience, there's always something valuable for you. Check out the link in the description or the pinned comment for more information. So if you've been following along, we started putting together a Daniel Defense upper. This upper was provided to me by Brownells, and you're able to get a authentic Daniel Defense upper for a very affordable price and then build out the rest based on your preference. So it's the easiest and cheapest way to get an authentic Daniel Defense upper, which is obviously known to be a very quality brand, but not totally breaking the bank because you're able to customize the parts and components that you chose. So as of right now, you probably, if you only saw the first video, this is very, very different than the way that the gun started out. And we're going to go through all the parts and components that I went through when I started adding parts to this rifle. The part that we're going to speak about today is a part I've actually made a video on in the past, but they've actually upgraded it, which is why it's actually so interesting. Today we're going to be speaking about the Blazer LAP head. So this light head is unlike anything else that's available on the market. It uses pretty much a laser technology as opposed to an LED technology, which means that the power that's coming out of this light is unlike anything else on the market. And I truly mean that. As an example, some of the lights that I have on my rifles are roughly 55,000 candela, which means that the hotspot that you're able to see at distance is around 55,000 candela. So that's a very nice solid hotspot that could give you a pretty good distance when it comes to being able to see things at distance. What this light head comes in at is over 400,000 candela, which means that you're able to see this light at over 1,200 yards, which is, again, absolutely incredible for that light head. Now, immediately you're going to say that that seems kind of unrealistic because if I'm trying to do something at close distance, how is that going to work? So I want to show you the upgrades of what they did to this light, the way they made it so easy to be able to use, and really make it something that's attainable as well as very realistic for the majority of people. So let's head over to the tabletop and we'll take a closer look. So we are now at the tabletop, and before we begin, I'm going to do something that's extremely uncomfortable to watch and probably listen to, but I will explain what just happened. So when I remove this, you're going to hear that it's very, very scratchy. And you actually see that silver line going around. And again, I'll explain to you in a second what that is and why it's extremely painful. So what I have over here is, I made a video on this as well. This is the Reptilia body that you're able to get. It's a Reptilia body that it's a single piece unit that attaches to your rifle, and it fits very close to the gun and it brings the light a little bit higher, which is actually very nice. It makes everything very simple to be able to use. What I didn't realize is that this is one of the things I changed is the rail on this rifle to be able to use for the Daniel Defense upper, and they have a QD slot over here. The thickness of the light head is actually pressed up just against that QD slot, so it fits so tight that it's actually scratching the outer part of the light. So that's obviously my fault. I'm going to have to figure out either have to move the light a different way. I might need to use a different light body because that doesn't seem to be working properly with the setup that we have going on. But as of right now, it was very, very annoying and very scary because I was just scratching up the side of the light, and that's not ideal. So the main part of the light that has changed is this light head itself. So this is the light head itself. Again, this is the 400,000 candela light that really puts out a crazy, crazy output to be able to see at distance. Now, for a rifle like the one we're currently putting together, I currently have an LPVO on the setup, which means that I will be able to see much further than maybe a standard red dot. So having a light that's able to be effective for that, so I'm able to see there properly with a magnified optic, as well as be able to identify properly with a correct light, is a very good system. So right now, again, going back to the front of the gun, I have a Unity hot button, which is a great button for activation. I have a Surefire back portion, which you're able to connect the Unity button to, the Reptilia body, and then the ZBolt Blazer head. So this is a really, really, again, amazing head. So what's been different between the previous version that I showed you guys and this one? The biggest difference is you might see that over here, there used to be a seam where the light was actually able to be unscrewed and you could change out filters based on the different lights that you want. So let me actually pull out one of those for you. So what these are different filters and options you're able to choose that you could have been able to screw on to the front of the light. And by doing so, you could either get different colors, whether that be for hunting or low light use, as well as also something like this, which is a diffuser, where you'll get a different type of like blurry ring around the edge that will make the light expand or go in closer, depending on your purpose of use. Now, this is great because you're taking something as strong as 400 candela and actually giving it the ability to have spill. So that makes it more beneficial for indoor use and things like that. Now, the only problem with that is that you either have the option of something with a little bit of diffusion or you get full power. There was nothing in between. So The problem, it was only in between. So the problem with that is that you could only have that kind of filter, which means either you had spill or you didn't have spill. So when you screw this on, that's kind of what you're left with. So now if you decided you want to go longer distance, you'd have to unscrew it to then remove that amount of diffusion to then be able to go further. So what they ended up doing is they made it that they removed that option where you don't have the option to be able to unscrew it and screw it back on anymore, which I like. The reason why is because they now came out with this system. So what this is over here is a ring that screws onto the light head itself, and it uses these elastic cords over here. And what it does is that you choose the diffusion level that you want, and what you do is that you can see right now it's fully exposed, so you're able to get the full power. If you need it closer in, you just flip it in. It's simple. It's very, very simple. So right now, for the majority of times, I'm keeping that on where I have the diffusion level that I want for indoor use and being able to see properly. But if I want to be able to go distance, it's simply flipping that open, and just like that, you now have the full power of that 400,000 candela. So being able to use a very simple system like this is great. So the best part is their kits are extremely, extremely affordable. So if you're looking for like a very powerful light head that's the kind of dual use, then this is something I look into. This is also the light I definitely chose for this rifle, which is going to be like a battle rifle, because it gives you the options of having an LPVO, being able to see close and far distances, while being able to have the option of being able to use this light in close environments, as well as also at extreme distances as well. So I just wanted to give you guys an update video on this system. A very, very simple system where the upgraded LED head, the LEP head, sorry, with the full power light head, as well as being able to flip it over with a simple flip and being able to adjust it based on the style that you want. They do have different options of how much filtration you want and how much dispersion you want of the light, so it's not like a one and done. And you can see how you just remove these tabs over here, and by doing so, you're able to choose the one based on your preference. So you have two immediate quick action use items, depending again on your purpose of use. So if you have any questions on this, if you have any information you'd like to give over to me, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. This is Raziel Cohen with ndftraining.com. Thank you for watching.